Why are you not sleeping at night? I concluded a long time ago in my Christian walk that the scripture says God never sleeps nor slumbers. And since he don't sleep, ain't no need of me staying up all night. Somebody look at your neighbor and say, I'm going to go ahead to bed and see how God going to work it out. He might have it all fixed by the time I get up in the morning. I can't change it. I can't fix it. I can't turn it around. But the God that I serve sure can.
I'm Miracle Phyllis. Welcome as we go to science for deaf people out there. I'm requesting you to join this program.
Thank God, thank God, thank God for the transforming power of faith. Nature forms us, sin deforms us. Let me give you the best definition of sin that I know of. It's coming short of the glory of God. You know what sin is? It's just everything in us that's not like God. And there's a lot of it, isn't there? There's a lot of it. I mean, don't go strutting your stuff, folks. We have all sinned and come short of the glory of God. Now, don't you stretch yourself out in the gutter alongside some old hypocrite and say, I'm longer than he is. So what? No promise too hard for God to keep. Do you believe that? Say amen. There's no promise that is too hard for God to keep. There are 30,000 promises in the Word of God, and every one of them are yea and amen in the Lord Jesus Christ. And not one jot nor one tittle shall fail from the law till all be fulfilled.
Good morning. It's around 5 minutes to 7, and of course this is Imani Television. You are #1 leading station in the country that of course broadcasts Christian content and all information with regards to building your faith in Christ Jesus. My name is Francis Msakali. Good morning. It is, when is it? It's June 29th, and of course it's a Thursday morning, chilly Thursday morning, and we're here to do just to inform you what's happening across the country. We have the news, we have a word of the day, we have weather, very detailed weather forecast, and also we have various news content, including what you guys went online to search for on our top 10 search histories on Google. So I'll be telling you all these statistics, including the newspaper review, in this coming hour. It's a lot of things. We have a lot to talk about. Let's begin. Well, let's begin. It's 6:55 a.m. Let's start with this story. Detectives leading the search for former National Treasury employee Tom Osinde, who allegedly went missing on Sunday last week, have arrested 2 suspects in connection to his disappearance. Now, confirming the reports, Rongai DCIO Donata Otieno said the suspect presently in custody are some of the employees of a farm in Transmara in Narok County. And of course, this guy was found in possession of a vehicle that belonged to this Tom Osinde. Of course, the vehicle was found on Saturday. Here are the speeches.
We are going to search for this person to trace his whereabouts, whether dead or alive, until we get satisfied. And right now we cannot say he is dead. The suspect held at the police custody are held for the offense of abduction.
Ndio nimuuliza hii gari ni nani, akaniambia ni ya bosi wake, alimpea alete pita hapa atembeze yani akuje navyo ndio arudi huko bali anahisi msesi. Alikuwa na mashini ya kutengeneza miti kata, alikuwa na generator, alikuwa na subwoofer.
Julius nimemjua kwa muda mrefu, juu alikuwa anaishi hapa kitambo, lakini mkorofi. Nikikumbuka around 2007 2008 kuna kisa chenye alifanya hapo chini mahali walikuwa wanaishi. Alafu ikapita akatoka kutoka hapa akaenda mahali sita imeenda kutokea.
Akatuleta hapa mtoni tukaosa gari. Vile tulioza gari tukamaliza, lakini hatukuosa ndani. Alituambia ndani hakuna nafasi ya kuosa hiyo gari, tuosa hapa nje. Vile tulimaliza tukaenda Nyakio tukakunywa chai. Alafu akaenda Choi Mona.
Alikuja na hiyo gari akasimama hapa nje, akaingia hoteli, akaitisha chai. Kuna vijana wengine walikuwa huko ndani, akawaambia kunywa chai.
Kile kitu ambacho tulipata kwa nyumba ya mamake, kulikuwa na cheki ya kuinua gari, halafu kulikuwa na spika 2 ambazo sasa zilienda kwa mikono ya wachesusi.
And you see, it's all a mesh, it's all a mixture. The farmhands are being involved, they're being questioned. Some of them, apparently, one of them has colluded, they stole the vehicle. It's just a messy thing, and of course, we'll be following and keeping you tabs with this story. Now, the Kenya Conference of Catholic Bishops has drafted a 14-point strategy that will help in the current efforts to pacify volatile Kerio Valley region and restore lasting peace. Now, the bishops who met in Uasin Gishu have resolved to become actively involved in the peace process as they recommend an annual peace conference, joint community projects, and alleviating poverty, among other recommendations. Let's listen in.
Hold annual North Rift Peace Initiative conferences on rotational basis as a way of stakeholders renewing their commitment to the North Rift Peace initiatives.
Engage community, religious, political, and other opinion leaders as mediators with the goodwill of both national and county governments. These will help foster trust and create conducive environment for dialogue.
We need, 1, to identify the reformed warriors. Number 2, we need to get leaders who come from those particular communities, and majorly those who have set a pace in building peace. Because the entire conflict is not really in issues of culture. It is majorly on the political part of it. I am a politician, of course.
Now, the principals of secondary schools are afraid that basic activities in schools may be stalled due to the delay in allocation given by the government to cover the education of every student in public schools. Now, this is the 46th Kesha Annual National Conference at Sheikh Zayed Hall in Mombasa, where a lot was discussed. Chief among them is this.
That in the financial year of 2021-2022, The maximum we received was 17,792.20 cents, which includes the retained money at the Ministry for Edu Afia and Activities. We are looking for 4,451 balance for that academic year. This year, the financial year is ending on Friday. We have also received a similar figure of about 17,000. Ladies and gentlemen, we propose that the Ministry of Education considers to increase the capitation from the current figure of 22,244 we had proposed last year to 30,000 shillings.
For sub-county schools, for example, we provide lunch. So you must buy maize, and the maize, a 2 kg tin is 220. We buy beans, and a 2 kg tin of beans was 500 shillings, although it's coming down to 480 depending on the place. For some of us who provide rice, a kilo of
rice is on the rise. Now, the government has changed the mode of collection of national examination papers that will be administered to the 2023 KCSE and KCPE exams candidates. Education CS Ezekiel Machogu announced on yesterday that the examination papers will be collected twice a day instead of once a day that has been the norm. Now, this means that the paper will be done, to be done in the morning, will be collected in the morning at various containers across the country. Then the afternoon paper will be collected in the afternoon. Now, he spoke at the 46th Kesha Annual National Conference at Sheikh Zayed Hall in Mombasa. Now, this came after Kenya Secondary School Hayes Association Chairman Indimuli Kahi asked the Kenya National Examination Council to assure the principals that there will be no leakage of examination papers. Now, among them, Machogu also added that there will be capitation and, of course, a reenactment of capitation in schools. Let's listen in.
You are aware, and I think we have had an engagement with the National Treasury. The PS must have mentioned this in his speech, that we want to get back from the the current quarterly system to the ratio of 50, 30, and 20 going forward. And I think the Treasury so far is in support of that, because this will change and ensure equitable distribution of funds throughout the year, empowering schools to plan and utilize resources more efficiently. In the same vein, I must also emphasize the importance of promptly acknowledging receipt of capitation, as failure to do so will result in schools missing out on the next disbursement. Let us work together to streamline this process and ensure the effective utilization of allocated funds for the benefit of our students. Chairman, you are aware, when you came to my office with the executive committee, indeed.
Now let's move on. The Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua, yesterday gifted 3 million shillings to Kenya's Special Olympic team. The Deputy President said the government is in discussion with the Ministry of Sports regarding how to help the team in future. Now, he said, by winning in the global arena, Kenya gets respected across the world and tourism is boosted. Now, Kenya, or rather Team Kenya, scooped 15 gold medals, 4 silver medals, 6 bronze medals during the games that took part in Berlin, Germany, from June 17th to 25th. Let's listen in.
Individuals who got a gold medal, the government of the Republic of Kenya will give you 750,000 shillings. So those 10 individuals will carry 7.5 million. For each team that won a gold medal, the team will carry 100,000. So that is another 500,000 for the 5 teams. For those who won a silver medal, the individual medalists will carry 500,000 shillings. And the team that won silver will get 75,000 shillings. For those who won bronze medals, the individual bronze medalists will carry 300,000 shillings. And the team that won bronze will get 50,000. So in total, the government will give you 10,200,000. Na hii ni kionjo tu, si tumeanza kujuana sasa. Najua now you have proven yourselves. The PS is here. He knows Muko area. Yeah. For those who did not know you are around in the Olympic space, they know you are there now. So we'll plan properly next time so that the lady who spoke here alisema alijenga nyumba, tena si nyumba ya kawaida kubwa. Na mabati ile yenyewe, sio ile ya kawaida. So you 750, you 500, you 300, will you do something for yourself? Yes. Yeah, mufanye kakitu mzuri. And we are going to support you. We'll discuss with the ministry on how to support you. We also request our friends in the media, please also.
There is a community-based empowerment program called the Nyimine Empowerment, which is a community-based organization that has planned a 3-day outreach program to promote access to sexual health services in Bondo and Siaya County. Now, speaking during the event at Kapio Health Center, Executive Director Loma Nyandat said that the outreach targets women and reproductive age, and more specifically those with disabilities and those living with HIV. Let's listen in.
Today, Nyimine Empowerment Community-Based Organization, NECBO, we have partnered with Kapio Dispensary through the Ministry of Health to provide outreach services to young women in their diversity. We work with young women with disability, young women living with HIV, as well as young women who identify as LGBTI. And in today's outreach, we are having a series of outreaches today, tomorrow, and Friday. And in these 3 outreaches, we target to get 1,000 young women in their diversity to access sexual reproductive health services. And these services include cancer screening, breast and cervical cancer, HIV testing and counseling. We intend to have FP insertion and removal. There is equally HPV vaccine for our adolescent girls.
Kwa hii huduma yenye nilikuja na kukuja nimeletwa na pikipiki kwa sababu jinsi ya nauli ilikuwa ngumu. Sasa wamekuja wakanichukua na imenisaidia kwa sababu ya nilikuwa nataka family planning, nimepata cervical cancer screening pia wamenifanyia. Then mtoto pia alikuwa mgonjwa, nimepata matibabu, nikapata madawa. Sasa nashukuru kwa hiyo service yenye nimepata, na naomba tu serikali kama wanaweza tujali sisi walemavu, kwa sababu wakati mwingi tunakuwa na hali ngumu ili kupata matibabu ama kupata hizi mafunzo za family planning.
Tulikuwa na ukosefu ya madawa na leo tulipata posters kuwa ati tunapewa chanjo hapa leo. So tulikuja juu walikuwa wanaifanya bure, na pale hospitalini lazima tulipe pesa ndio tufanyiwe services za family planning. Kwa hiyo tulikuja hapa na wametupea service bure.
tell everyone.
I was counting on it.
My son, they've run out of wine.
Mother, my time has not yet come.
If not now, when?
I'm ready, Father.
It has begun.
What has?
Miracles.
Signs and wonders. Fear not, for I have redeemed you. I have called you by name. You have experienced a miracle, Mary.
I saw him. It was incredible.
Our Father,
Our Father,
who art in heaven,
who art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
The man has a following.
He's a rogue who answers to no one.
You asked me before if I knew his name. Now everyone knows his name, and I fear for his safety.
Throw this down for a catch.
Do you think that impossible things can happen? That overturn the laws of nature? That cannot be explained.
Rise.
Matthew, son of Alphaeus.
Yes.
This is different. Get used to different.
My whole life I have wondered if I would see this day.
Follow me, Nicodemus, and you'll see more. God loves the world in this way, that he gave his only son.
I'm going to tell everyone.
I was counting on it.
Anything is possible now. Don't you see?
Let's go.
I was one way, and now I am completely different. And the thing that happened in between was him.
It's 7:16 a.m. My name is Frank Msakali. Of course, you're watching the Thursday, karibu niseme the breakfast, but the Thursday morning show, and of course this is Imani Television. Do follow us on our website www.imaniradio.org. There you'll subscribe and you'll get content straight into your email as we of course roll out our newsletters, news during the day. You'll be getting them straight into your email address when you subscribe to our website. You can still follow Imani Radio, that is imaniradio.org online, there you'll get to listen to the station all over the country from wherever you will be. Now let's retake that previous story about the Turkana Power Project. A UK-based firm that is called CFP UK Holdings Limited will pay 14.5 billion shillings to acquire a stake in Lake Turkana Wind Power Project. And here are the images on your screen. And the power was built at 95.2 billion wind farm through debt and equity. Transaction advisors who participated in crafting of the deal told us that the amount will be settled soon following the Competition Authority of Kenya, that is Communication Authority of Kenya clearance of the England and Wales Incorporated firm to acquire 31.25% stake in the LTWP. Now, of course, this notice, or rather the CAK said in the last week's Gazette that the notice it had cleared CFP to be proceeded, or rather to proceed with the deal, and LTWP had in March made a formal application to Energy, Petroleum and Regulatory Authority to be allowed to sell the stake to CFP UK Holdings Limited. Let's move on. In the United States, citizens are a worried lot. You see, this is after they discovered malaria. And few people have recently caught malaria in the United States. Now, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention has warned, and of course, that malaria is becoming prevalent, or rather could become prevalent in the States. Now, these are the images of yesterday night where trials are being conducted. And of course, people had a lot to say about this malaria discovery. And of course, this is the CDC lady speaking.
So each year, particularly before COVID, we saw about 2,000 cases of malaria in the United States each year. But that was from people who were traveling abroad and acquired it internationally. What is different this time, and why we put out the health notice to doctors and to the public, is we had 5 cases of domestically acquired malaria, meaning people got it from in the United States, 4 in Florida and 1 in Texas.
It's a little alarming to have a disease that we've eliminated from the United States and then have these few local cases. But they are a few cases, and I think that public health measures are really important for both tracking where the malaria is and then therefore making any interventions like trying to prevent more mosquito bites, either by decreasing the mosquito population or asking everyone to wear mosquito repellent. Like, these are all things that can prevent ongoing transmission.
For the first time in 20 years, 5 cases of domestic acquired malaria has been confirmed in the United. And of course, the CDC said in a health advisory that Anopheles mosquitoes, which are found mostly in the tropics and throughout the regions of the country, Dr. Harris from the CDC says that when someone has malaria in the United States, there are about 2,000 cases a year in the United States, and typically it's because they've been traveling somewhere which is endemic. Now, globally, malaria kills around hundreds of thousands of people per year, mostly children, and though the toll had been on the decline in the recent decades, it ticked up in the height of the coronavirus pandemic, although Bill Gates has said that he hopes to see malaria eradicated during his lifetime. Some experts say that that is too optimistic. Now let's move on. Of course, this will continue to follow this story about the United States malaria, a scare that has been moving forward. Let's move on. Arsenal. Let's take a look at some sports news where Arsenal are closing in on securing the first signing of the summer transfer window after submitting a 105 million euros for Declan Rice. And of course, many Kenyans went online to search for this superstar. Of course, this is plus add-ons for Captain Declan Rice. The Hammers have already rejected 2 bids from the Gunners, along with a 90 million bid from the Premier League champions Manchester City. Pep Guardiola's side have now pulled out of the race to sign this midfielder. And of course, these are the images expected where Declan Rice is expected to compete for the move for the 24-year-old this week. Arsenal had, of course, indicated that Rice had been identified as the North London outfit's priority targets going into the window, and Mikel Arteta will be desperate to land his man. And West Ham and Arsenal are now planning to enter more negotiations as they look to reach the agreement over the structure of the move and the length of the payment of the fixed 100 million fee and the remaining issue. Football London understands that the England international rose through the ranks to become a crucial player for the West Ham, and despite his importance to the team, he did not change his shirt number, now has made the number 41 iconic jersey at the Ghana's Arsenal club. And let's move on. The Combined Counties League Premier South Division may a long way from the glitz and the glamour of the Premier League. 9 tiers to be exact. But that hasn't stopped Stormzy from becoming the latest celebrity to buy a non-league club after teaming up with Crystal Palace forward Wilfried Zaha in consortium that has to take over the AFC Croydon Athletic. And these are the images where both grew up around the corner from the club's 3,000 capacity seats, and of course the Mayfield Stadium, and of course they bought this club amidst joy from people. And of course the stadium in Thornton Heath and Centre have now decided to invest in a team that finished lowly 15th last season in an attempt to do what's right for the local community. Now, according to the source close to Zaha, a statement from AFC Croydon Athletic on Tuesday confirmed contracts had been exchanged with existing ownership and the consortium, which includes Palace's former head of player care, Danny Young, and now who will own and develop their childhood hometown football club. Now, Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta has immediately hinted at his plans for Kai Havertz after officially welcoming him, the player from Chelsea. Now, the Gunners have finally announced the £65 million arrival or euros of the German international from their London rivals on Wednesday evening, with Havertz passing a medical during the post-season holiday in Spain, penning a long-term deal in the contract that he will play at the Emirates Stadium as he takes familiar to the number 29 shirts. Of course, this is also was seconded by the manager Mikel Arteta, who said that his versatility in the field is what prompted him to go for him. Let's listen in.
It feels super exciting for me personally. I'm so glad to join this amazing club. I think this club has such a big history, and I hope we can achieve lots of things, and I'm just looking forward to meet now the players, the staff, and it's going to be exciting.
You're an experienced Premier League player that's faced the club many times before. Just how talented is this current squad?
I mean, I experienced it by myself a couple of times. You can just see, I think, the family mentality that the team has on the pitch. And I guess, they have it off the pitch as well. So the team mentality in the squad is...
Now, many Kenyans have flocked on this streaming giant, not streaming giant, but social media giant called TikTok. Of course, news has come in that Kenya is one of the most leading countries that has streamed and had topped global ranks on TikTok. These are the images where Kenya tops global TikTok usage charts, shaping news trends. And of course, Kenya emerges as a global leader in TikTok usage, capturing 54% of global activity. 29% of TikTok usage in Kenya is dedicated to staying informed with news updates, and TikTok's rise as a news platform signals a shift in how younger audiences consume information, with Facebook apparently they are experiencing a decline. Now, Kenya has taken the world by storm by emerging a global leader in TikTok usage. That means that many Kenyans are going online and subscribing to TikTok and using and viewing content. Chief among them is to consume news and entertainment content. Now, the study is done by Destination of Accessing News Content, which is an organization. Of course, Reuters Institute Digital News Report for 2023. We want to take another short break. When we come back, we have the newspaper review. Of course, this is the Thursday morning drift. We will be back in just a minute.
Welcome to Imani Guest Houses, your perfect home away from home. Our spacious guest rooms are designed to provide you with ultimate comfort and relaxation, complete with hot showers and free Wi-Fi. Enjoy mouth-watering meals served in our charming dining area with friendly staff at your service. Rest assured that your vehicle is safe and secure with our ample on-site parking space. Unwind in the serene outdoor terrace while enjoying the scenic surrounding, and our friendly staff is always on hand to ensure your stay is nothing short of amazing. Located along Webuye Kitale Road opposite St. Joseph's Boys High School and 1 kilometer from the Kitale Airstrip, it is uniquely located at Imani Radio Ministry Campus near the airstrip and highway. Contact us on 0796 035561 or 0713 093354. Book your stay at Imani Guest Houses today and experience the ultimate comfort and relaxation in this beautiful region.
and welcome back. Of course, you're watching Imani Television. Do follow us on Facebook, Imani Television, and on YouTube, Imani Television Kenya. We are live there at the moment. Of course, interact with me on my Twitter handle at Musakali_real. That is my Twitter handle. And on Facebook, Frank Jackson is my Facebook name. And of course, we will be interacting from there. We want to take a look at newspapers this morning. What is trending, what is making headlines across the newspapers, the major newspapers in the country right now. Let's take a look at newspapers. Let's start with the Daily Nation. By the way, they're dispensing, on Daily Nation is dispensing at 60 bob. The Standard 60 shillings. The Star, let me confirm about the Star. The Star is doing today 60 bob again. Taifa Leo is doing 30 shillings. If you're in Uganda and Tanzania you'll pay 500 bob. And in Uganda you'll have to pay around 300 bob. And then in the Star, in Uganda you'll have to pay 2,000 shillings to get it. And in Kenya 60 bob. In Tanzania you'll pay 1,000 bob. The Daily Nation is 60 shillings. The top story there is more Kenyans fail to pay back loans. And of course Hustler Fund is one of them. Pale wamesema kwamba 570.6 billion Kenyan shillings is the total non-performing loans this year, up from 482.6 billion shillings. So it is an increase. Of course, that is the government. They say there that the government spending on development is also at its lowest in 8 years. And of course, they are saying for from page 4 and 5 that non-performing loans in the banking sector increased sharply by 88 billion in just 1 year to hit a record of 570.6 billion in the 12 months ended in just April just a few months ago, signaling financial distress among businesses and individuals. Watu hawana pesa. That is, you look in page 4 and 5 of the Daily Nation to just look at how people are defaulting on loans. And of course, it's a top story there. On page 7, they're talking about 20,000 new teaching jobs that are up for grabs. And the government will from next week launch the recruitment of tutors in a bid to bridge the huge staffing deficit from facing schools and public schools across the country. More promotions are being lined up, says the teacher employer. That is on page 7. And they've put their picture of Machogu with the Principal Secretary, Dr. Bellios Kipsang, during the 46th Kesha conference that was held in Mombasa yesterday. And of course, you'll see that story there. Teachers will be excited about it. On the back page of the Daily Nation, you'll see about how electricity and how to cut power costs. IPPs tell House team investors in the electricity sector have proposed to a parliamentary committee 7 ways that MPs can explore in order to address the high cost of electricity in the country. And of course, that is on the back page. Then Ruto allies warn Raila over economic sabotage. On page 6, you'll read that story. Then on page 3 of the Daily Nation, South Koreans get younger under new age counting system. The Asian country was still using a method of calculating age determines babies are good as bad. You see, it's just a whole lot of things about the South Koreans getting younger with the new inventions there. On page 21, you'll take a look at Siaya Assembly, which is taking the Oduol battle to court. They don't want him. Senate returned him, or rather, it's not over yet. This is the message Siaya MCAs had for Deputy Governor William Oduol, and they resolved to file a petition to the High Court seeking to have him declared unfit to hold public office. That is the Daily Nation. Let's take a look at the Standard. And the top story there is strangers in cabinet. And of course, that is on page 4, where the article 152, and they're saying 152 people, the expanded cabinet. President William Ruto chairs a cabinet meeting at State House there, and there's a picture there. 4 advisors, that is Cleophas Malala from UDA was invited in. David Ndii was invited in, the Council of Economic Division. Monica Juma was invited in to the meeting, and of course women's rights leaders. I think Shiga or someone was invited also to sit into the cabinet meeting, and of course this has made people talk. And on page 4 they're speaking about it. Article 152 of the Constitution provides that the cabinet is comprised of the deputy, the president, the attorney general, and not fewer than 14 and not more than 22 cabinet secretaries. But in the footsteps of his predecessor, President William Ruto has opened the apex organ to advisors, setting the stage for battle, or rather a titanic court battle. They'll say that on the Standard. Inside the Standard, you'll read, you'll get pullouts of the real estate. If you're someone who loves houses and looking at real estate and land property deals, you'll get their pullout of real estate, and shopping, and or rather shipping and logistics, also a pullout in the Standard today. Then down there on page 10 and 11, you'll read about Nyachae, shocking secrets of a woman, woman in 2 billion state battle. And of course, you'll read that in page 10 and 12. And then coffee crop makes big comeback. Coffee farmers are reaping big, apparently, in the past couple of months. And of course, on page 27 and 23, you'll read that story. Then Arsenal on sports page on page 48. Arsenal, United, and Chelsea clash over transfers. All of these teams want the same players, but of course you've seen Declan Rice has chosen to go to Arsenal. Let's take a look at the Taifa Leo. Taifa Leo, which is a Swahili publication meant for Swahili avid readers. The top story there on June 29th, it's retailing or dispensing a 30 bob. Rais Ruto alivuka mipaka. Na hapo wameangazia hiyo story ya mahakama ilikuwa pia imebatilisha uteuzi uliofanywa na Uhuru. Ni story tu ambayo ilikuwa inaelezea pale hatua ya Rais William Ruto kuruhusu washauri wake watatu wa katibu mkuu wa chama cha UDA Cleophas Malala kuhudhuria mikutano ya baraza la mawaziri, ambayo imezua maswala kuhusu iwapo alivuka mipaka iliyowekwa na katiba. Na pale wameangazia picha za hawa watu watatu: mshauri wa raia wa rais kuhusu haki za wanawake Harris Chigai, wamemweka pale Cleophas Malala mwanachama wa UDA ama mwenyekiti wa chama cha UDA, kisha mshauri wa rais kuhusu uchumi David Ndii. Hao wote waliitwa kwenye mkutano wa cabinet. Katika ukurasa wa pili watasema naibu gavana Oduol bado mashakani. MCAs hapa kumshtaki kotini baada ya seneti kumpatia ama kumpata bila hatia, kwa hivyo wanataka kumpeleka kotini, sema kwamba you are unfit to hold public office after all. Ukurasa wa 20 utasoma bei ya Ken yaendelea kupanda, na mshambulizi huyo wa Tottenham Hotspur anaitwa Harry Kane. Bayern wazidisha juhudi kusajili kiungo huyo wa Tottenham, ikijulikana kwamba Sadio Mane ataondoka kule Bayern Munich, kwa hivyo wanataka Harry Kane. Pia Real Madrid iko katika mbio kumsajili Harry Kane, na timu kadhaa za Premier League zilikuwa zimesemwa kwamba zinamtaka Harry Kane. Utasoma hiyo story katika ukurasa wa 20 wa Taifa Leo. Katika ukurasa wa 3, mishahara yafagia fedha ya maendeleo. Ukurasa wa 3 pale wanasema pesa zilizotengwa miradi zilipungua hadi shilingi bilioni 579 billion, na hivyo kupungua kwa asilimia 23.4. Kisha katika ukurasa wa 3 utasoma serikali kuajiri walimu 20,000. Na hii ndio tumeangazia katika gazeti la The Standard, ambapo viongozi wa kitaifa wa walimu walihudhuria kongamano la kitaifa la walimu wakuu wa shule za upili kule Mombasa, na waliweza kuahidiwa na Ezekiel Machogu na serikali kwa walimu 20 ama 20,000 wataweza kuajiriwa hivi karibuni. Kwa hivyo utasoma pale hiyo story kwenye Taifa Leo. Let's take a look at the People's Daily. In the People's Daily we are talking about what are we talking about in the People's Daily? We are talking about a big pay gap divides CEOs and workers. And of course this is a story that has been also trending on Twitter, and they're saying that there's a big divide between CEOs and workers, and of course they're saying 135.6 times, that is for Coop Bank. For KCB Bank they're saying 118.5 times, and for Safaricom they're saying 69.8 times. Of course the 30.4 times average gap between what CEOs and workers earned in 2022 increase from 28.1 times in 2021. Of course, that is an inequality report that shines light on listed firms that with high pay for top executives and low pay for staffs. And of course, you'll for staff, you'll read that on page 4 of the Daily People's Daily about how that is to be and how that is shaping industries and corporates across the country. On the top page, on page 6 and 7, there's a photo there of Eid Mubarak. Muslims prayed as they mark holiday, embrace peace. Muslims all over the country and all over the world apparently are marking Eid Mubarak today. Eid Mubarak to all Muslims. And of course on page 2, the SRC puts county bosses on sports over allowances. Then on page 8, half of the money will fund schools, CS promises heads on yesterday's meeting. Let's take a look at the Star newspaper, which is dispensing at 60 bob. On the Star, they're saying Ruto team accuses Raila of being reckless. Former Prime Minister has asked Kenyans to boycott paying tax to cripple Kenya Kwanza's administration. Of course, they said there, also Raila said that Kenyans, 1, should not pay tax, 2, they should not buy fuel, they should walk to work, they should carpool, and of course along other many boycotts that the former Prime Minister alluded to. And of course they are saying there on page 4 to 5 about the boy tax claims that you can read. Then prayers, reflection, and plenty of goat meat on Eid ul-Adha. And they're saying their goat meat is Muslims will be feasting on the same. And then on page 2, KCSE papers to be collected twice to end exam leakages. I was just read on our news today. And of course that will be, if a paper is being done in the morning, the paper will be collected in the morning. If it's being done in the afternoon, the paper will be collected in the afternoon, and not as before, like the night before for the morning paper, to aid on cheating. On page 3, they're talking about a woman who killed her 2 kids after a quarrel with her husband. And then that is on Kajiado. And then on page 7, they're talking about bill wants graft convicts allowed to hold public office. And of course that is what is trending across the newspapers. You'll get a copy of these newspapers to read your story today. You can simply get them online. Like the Standard, you go to the Standard, you get the e-paper, you'll purchase it for a much lesser price, maybe 10 shillings or 15 bob, to get the e-paper on the online issue. We'll be back with more details. So, look, we never like to close our broadcast every day by giving you social news and the news that affects you daily in, daily out. And of course, social news I'll be giving you what you guys went online to look for. Kenyans are very funny people. The top 10 most Googled items. Today we have 12, the top 12 in the past 24 hours. We'll be looking at what people just went online to search for in their phones. I have your search history. I'll be telling you exactly what you searched for yesterday up to this morning. Everything in total. And then we'll be giving you the food basket in just a short while. What you guys, when you go to the market today, especially for people in Kitale, Trans Nzoia, and Webuye, Bungoma, and Elgeyo Marakwet, when you go to the market, what you'll buy your food for, especially beans, cooking oil, bread. Kama unataka kununua gas mpya ama kurefill gas, we'll be telling you exactly what you'll pay for in that segment that is coming up. Of course, we'll be telling you exactly also about, what else do we have? Yes, the word of the day. We'll be back after the break. Welcome back. It's around 7:50 a.m. and of course we want to wind down our bulletin today. And of course we never like to close our broadcast without giving you social things. And first of all, let's take a look at our word of the day. But did you know that the book of Ecclesiastes, first of all, is a wisdom book of the Bible? There are five wisdom books of the Bible. The book of Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, Songs of Solomon, the book of Job, and in the New Testament, it's the book of James, 5 wisdom books of the Bible. And of course, Ecclesiastes is one of them. It was written by Solomon. It is believed to be written by Solomon. In what many sense would say the preacher, someone or the teacher or the preacher or the quester according to the Message Bible. Of course, today our word of the day comes from Ecclesiastes, which teaches about just the art of living a simple life and the art of living a life that is just, dedicated to God. Let's take a look at it. That is the word of the day. It's Ecclesiastes, that I've learned why people work so hard to succeed. Why? It is because they envy the things of the neighbors. A very wise man there. When you go to the market today, we don't want you to be shocked. So you'll be meeting these prices exactly. This is our food basket. For example, now if you go to buy the following items, including beans, cooking oil, bread, ndume, bar soap. Beans will be, or rather a bag of maize, small bucket, gorogoro will be bargaining at, the bargaining price is around 220, but you'll get it at 200 shillings. And of course, that is for beans. Beans, you'll get it for 400 shillings. That is the bargaining price. I mean, pre-bargaining price. And then for cooking oil, especially Master Chef cooking oil, it has skyrocketed 1,205 bob if you are going to the supermarket near you in Kitale. And then bread, normal, 65 bob, up all the way from 50. Nakumbuka ilikuwa 45 at some point. Now it's 65 for that bread. Then there is ndume bar soap. The bar soap is 170 shillings. It's still unrisen from last week when we looked at it. And then refilling gas, you'll have to refill with 1350 shillings from 200. Also, some dispensers are charging it at 1250, depending on how far you live from the nearest shopping center. Do the total and do the math yourself. And of course, those are the prices that you'll be getting when you go to the market. Just two more things to go. One of them, we never like to close our broadcast without giving you, is what you guys go into online to search for. Kenyans are very funny people. They go online on Google and they search things. But Google always sends us this data, so we know exactly what you guys went to search for and where you... Okay, let me not frighten you. Where you are and who you searched for on Google. But anyway, we've combined all the total search indices and we have the top 12 most searched items in the country as of today. Let's start. Done. Number 13, David Cresswet. And of course, this is an actor who is being searched by Kenyans because, one, they think he's going to be the next Superman in the movie series. Number 12, Silo. Silo is a TV show in Apple Plus. And of course, it has one season. Kenyans are very excited about it, about this whole post-apocalyptic TV show. Then Guarani and Mirasol versus Mirasol, which is a match that happened yesterday. happened, or rather ended 2-1 with the win of Gorani. Kenyans went online to look at the betting odds. Zamalek is the next one. Number 10? Yes. Zamalek is a team also that played yesterday. Kenyans went online to look at how they bet on the same. It won 2-0. Many lost the bets. Davido is another item that is trending. This is an African musician, Nigerian particularly, who is called David Adeleke, and of course people are searching for him out of his lifestyle choices. Angela Gabriel is the next one. Of course, Angelo Gabriel is in advanced talks with Chelsea. He's a football player. Kenyans went online to look at how he will be playing in the Chelsea team. James Crown is the next one. Now, James Crown is an actor who died sadly yesterday, and of course Kenyans went online to look at him. American business person. And of course, number 6, just matches generally, combined matches. Kenyans went online to look at betting odds, how to bet, how to team news and all those things. Then 5, Eid Mubarak, and of course this is an Islamic holiday. Kenyans went online to look at what this holiday means. And then number 4, Elon Musk. Elon Musk is the 4th most searched item in the country. This is after the news that Elon Musk is saying that he wants his 10 children to have control over his companies. Number 3, how to file nil returns. It is almost the end of June. Kenyans are rushing online as usual to know how to file nil returns. Of course, this is the third most searched item in the country. Let's take a look at number 2. How to reply to Eid Mubarak. And of course, this is a question that I'm also wondering. How do you reply when someone says Eid Mubarak? Kenyans went online with that question. How to reply to Eid Mubarak. I don't know. You tell me how you reply to the same. Then the top most searched item in the country is Declan Rice. And of course, Declan Rice is being touted to be an Arsenal player after the deal has been agreed. Arsenal find dream partner in Declan Rice as he moves to Arsenal, over 65 million euros, with Kai Havertz also confirmed by the Arsenal team. Most of the people who went online are Arsenal fans. Us Manchester United fans, we are content with our team. We don't have issues. Those are the top 10 most searched items. Particularly 13, David Creswet. 12, Silo, a TV show that is airing on Apple Plus. Guarani versus Mirasol. Zamalek, Davido. Number 9, Angel Gabriel. And number 8. Number 4 is Elon Musk. 10 children, he wants them to inherit his companies. Then there's Declan Rice and how to reply to Eid Mubarak on number 2, and number 3, how to file returns. Now, thank you so much for watching. Before we leave, let's take a look at the weather forecast across the various parts of the country, including Kitale, Busia, Eldoret, all these things on our weather details. I want to leave you now to take your breakfast. It's 8 or 4 a.m. in the morning. I'm going to go have my breakfast as well. And I'll see you next Thursday. But tonight we'll be meeting in the news at News Now. So have a good day ahead of you.